Hey there everyone, Luke here. Now before we get into the chapter, nearly looks around there thinking I had a Mission Yozakura family poster there, but I don't. Maybe one day we will get a Mission Yozakura family poster, who knows, but if I start getting posters for everything that I could potentially be reviewing in the future, I'm not going to have any space left in this room for it. It's just going to be posters everywhere. I'm not going to have any space, but yeah, speaking of which, posters, very quick announcement. In case you don't know, it seems that not this week coming, not this week coming, but the week after, there'll be not this week or the week after, the week after that. So in like 3 weeks' time, there'll be a break from Shonen Jump. That's what I'm seeing, because it seems like issue 20 and 21 are like a double issue, and usually when that happens there's a break in the schedule. So when that happens, might not be doing a live stream then. It just depends on what me and Pyjam decide to do. We might just have that week off. But in terms of the reviews that week, when the chapters are on break, I will be doing Dr. Stone Chapter 1. That'll be like my first like big comeback of Dr. Stone reviews, doing the back catalogue, which I feel like is appropriate because it'll be in like about a month and a half. So nice little break from Dr. Stone. I'm really looking forward to getting back into Dr. Stone content when I get to that, and also when we get to season 3 and the reuse special and the special chapter, and also can't wait to check out Boichi's new manga. But enough talking about Dr. Stone, that's what's coming up. Let's just get into this chapter of Mission Yozakura Family. Alright, so this will be chapter 125, titled I Won't Let You Go. And I won't let you guys go as well. I need you guys for the views. Well, even if one or two people, or 4 people, like, I know Pyjams watches all my videos, and I'm forever grateful that he watches them all. So you're awesome, man. Really incredible guy. Really fun to talk to as well. But yeah, title of the chapter is I Won't Let You Go. Now this is a reference to everyone trying to bring Kyorichio back to the family, and he's refusing, like, no, we're not letting you go now. There is something I want to discuss as well, and it's something that Vex from Control Chaos actually said in a live stream that he did, and we'll get into it when we get more into the chapters. But for now, we've got to talk about this colour page. Mission Yozakura Family, in my opinion, has the best colour pages at the moment in Jump, and this is no exception, just showing Taiyo and Kyorichio just looking awesome and cool as they're going down an alleyway. I guess this is a reference to, like, you wouldn't want to meet them in a dark alleyway or something like that, but with a little bit of light at the end of the tunnel kind of thing going there. So yeah, really awesome colour page, and it starts off pretty much, the chapter is basically just Yozakura just continuing the fight between Yozakura siblings and Kyorichio, but also getting Taiyo into the frame. So like I said last time, this is the chapter we were waiting for, with Kyorichio and Taiyo going off against each other. So it starts off with Kyorichio looking at Taiyo and thinking, like, oh, Taiyo, you're here to take me back. I don't think that's gonna be happening. And Taiyo's just like freaking out about the flowers, like, flowers, like, because it's something he's never seen before. And this is where Fruit Spirit and everyone is like, okay, you've made it, Taiyo. Okay, we're gonna keep Kyorichio from. We need you to keep Kyorichio from escaping, and be careful not to touch him, because she's explained that the flowers are an infective poison, and even Nano couldn't neutralize them. And this is what Kyorichio was doing to keep us away from keep them from becoming infected. Now, given what happens at the end of the chapter, this might lead into some consequences, and again, it was something that Vex brought up, and we're going to get more into that when we get into the end of the chapter. But for now, they keep explaining, God, like, oh, this is why he still has the poison in him. So basically, getting Taiyo up to speed with everything that they figured out, like, okay, he had poison in him, which is why he's fleeing from us, and it was why he kept saying, like, oh, we may never be able to see him again. And Taiyo was just like confused by this, but he's remaining like, okay, I need to remain calm, as he flashes back to what to what Kai said to him, that your perfume blooming of 10,000 flowers is such a lovely gift, and just explaining, just giving us a recap of what Kai was explaining a few chapters ago, which I'm still going off of my theory that Kai has the blooming because of the fact that the poison was in the air and it sort of like seeped around the Yozakura family mansion, and when Kai went to the mansion with Kyorichio, he got some of the poison in his veins, which means he had to have the blooming. I want to actually check that. I'm gonna actually check that about the blooming, if it has to be the current head. It has to be the current head. So bear with me, guys. But yeah. Blooming, I do like as a power up for Mission Yozakura family, and it's been pretty much explained in full detail. But we still have a few mysteries to know about it. Particularly, like I've been saying, like what happened to the siblings of, like, say, Mutsumi's grandmother. Which that begs the question: can this poisoning happen to Mutsumi's grandmother? Because she was technically a head of the Yozakura family, or can all the Yozakura family heads emit this poison? Because we saw it emitting from the previous because they said that when they die, the poison emits from them. So yeah, but this begs the question: will this poison affect the grandmother, and will that be a twist we didn't see coming? Because the grandmother, even though she is a head of the Yozakura family, she doesn't really play a prominent role. When, in all honesty, you really think they should. So, the blood's power is only able to be shared by the head of the Yozakura family, and they can only do so. One time. Okay, so yeah, it says the head of the Yozakura. It doesn't say the current head. So that leads me to believe that, yeah, when the heads die, the poison emits and becomes in the air. So yeah, that pretty much establishes that Kai could potentially get the blooming by having the head's poison that's filled the head seep into his bloodstream. So yeah, that is something that has been established. That is pretty much saying stone that could happen. And again, it begs the question, like, can this happen to anyone now? Can this poison get into the veins of, like, say, Rin? Like, I don't see it because she's been genetically altered, so I don't see that happening. But like some of the side characters, like, oh, that guy who's like the one who's just like nobody cares about and is just invisible, quote unquote, to everyone around him. Or Akari. Like, could it happen to Akari as well? Because she's in the mansion all the time. So, yeah, just opens up a whole can of worms. And the fact that it gets into their system, can that affect their ability to maintain control? Or will Tsubumi be able to take control of them? Because Tsubumi, as a villain, she's a little bit generic, but she's kind of fascinating in the sense that they've fully gone on with the whole tree aspect with her, both figuratively and literally. But yeah, I'm still going to go on my theory that Kai has the blooming and he got it through artificial or alternative means. And what makes it so, like, worrying but also, like, fascinating is what Kai actually says. Face off against him with your profuse blooming, and if you do that, that will open the path. The path to what, Kai? Like, give us a sign. Like, is it going to open the path to him being controlled by Tsubumi? Oh my god. Or is it going to open the path to, like, Taiyo just having the poison of himself? Because, oh my god, like, just so many unknown variables in this series. Well, I say that, but Vex thinks it's a bit cliched at times. But anyway, Vex, because of the fact that I've looked it up and it doesn't actually say it has to be the current head, that with this whole poison thing, it can be any head. So it begs the question of if the poison can be seeped into the air and enter your circular structure, can it affect people, and can it be more than one at that point? Because it's technically not the blood anymore, but it sort of is. So can that alter the rules as well? Just so many questions that I have right now about this whole poison thing, and if it's actually going to lead to consequences, or if it's going to go back to the status quo, which I might as well just talk about it now. Fex believes that this chapter or the next chapter the status quo is gonna be just re-established, and What it could go in a completely different direction. If it goes in the direction that Taiyo gets infected and it can't be removed no matter what at that point, and it's only a matter of time before Tsubumi at that point takes full control over Taiyo, that gives them a time limit, and that gives consequences based on what happens at the end of the chapter. So either Kyorichio dies or Taiyo gets full control. I can see that being the consequences of this fight, or actually going after Kyorichio. But anyway, he goes on to say, Taiyo goes on to say, it's not like I've just blindly accepted those words. Either way, there's only one thing for me to... Okay, so I like that Taiyo is like is being like, okay, this is a bit weird, and it's making me scratch my head. I just did that because I need to scratch my head then. But anyway, he knows what he needs to do, and he knows that he needs to bring Kyorichio back. So he's like, yeah, I'm not going to leave you. I'm not going to let you go, Kyorichio. Title drop there. And Kyorichio giving quite a smirky attitude here. Like, not really used to him seeing this. Like, you think you can stop me? That'll be quite the sight. And as Kyorichio is preparing to give off the attack, you see Futaba using her martial arts to kind of unbalance the area around them. And Shion is like, okay, you go after him, Taiyo. We'll back you up here. We've got everything under control here. And Taiyo gives chase to Kyorichio, even though Kyorichio's throwing stuff at him to keep him at a distance. But Taiyo being Taiyo uses his blooming ability, which is hardening, basically Kirishima. He's basically Kirishima from My Hero Academia, and also Tetsu, and also Evan from Power Rangers Dino Thunder. There's a lot of people with the hardened skin ability now that I think about it, and also the Thing as well from Fantastic Four. Yeah, quite a few people with this ability now that I think about it. But yeah, even though Taiyo can use the hardening, Kyorichio is just much faster than him, which makes sense because Kyorichio's been a spy for many years. Possibly been a gold rank for more... Well, yeah, he's been a gold rank for more than 10 years because he's had to have his license renewed. So I imagine he's been like a gold rank for like 15 years at max at this point. Like, how old is Kyorichio? Like that is a question. So how... Let me just see. Kyorichio. So let's see. How old is Kyorichio? It's put me on chapter 76, so the wiki. So let's see, Kingo. Here we go. So yeah, how old is he again? Go away. Here we go. 21. So Kyorichio is 21. The oldest of the Yozakura family siblings, born on January 1st. So new year baby he is. But yeah, 21. So okay, he's not been a gold rank spy for more than 10 years. So okay, I'd say about 3 years tops. Like 18 was when he probably got the gold rank spy, which would make sense for him because even though people hate Kyorichio, they credit where credit is due, he is the strongest character in the series, and if the author was willing to kill him off, that would be a big shot because, okay, you got rid of the strongest character in the series, where do you go from here? Like, how do the characters develop? How do they get stronger to the point that they surpass him? But at the same time, we need to see his blooming. Like, I have no idea what his blooming would be at this point, whether it be just an extension of his steel spider, or whether it'll just turn his whole body into wires. Actually, that would be interesting if his blooming made him turn his whole body into wires. That would actually be interesting, and hey, I'd be all for that. So as Kyorichio is running away, Futaba is saying, yeah, we're not gonna let you escape. Okay, this actually confused me the first time I saw it. So she pours an energy attack into her hand, sort of like it's going in a wave like that, and the force of it is making the ground sort of rise up. And at first I assumed it was going to be a wall, but as we see here, it looks like it passes Kyorichio, and I was just like, what was that meant to be? Like, but Polyjams gave a decent explanation for it. Like, it was probably just be like, okay, something's moving in front of me, I'm going to stop in my tracks. So that's probably what was going on here. Well, here's something that actually confused him at first, because you see multiple versions of Shinzo, but as it turns out, we have it turns out it was Kengo disguised as Shinzo using Nano's Withering Spider Muscle Reflex. So basically a team group effort to kind of trap Kyorichio. So yeah, perfect sibling teamwork there. But I love how Nano's face when Kengo has the cannon, it looks like Koro Sensei from Assassination Classroom. So yeah. Kyorichio, people, they all think like, oh, this will work against Kyorichio, but Kyorichio being Kyorichio basically brings up the spider steel shield again, and they're like, oh, it didn't work, and Kyorichio's like, I'll teach you one last thing. This is how you keep someone in place, and it seems like he's gonna do an ability, but yeah, no, he does actually do an ability, and Fruit's like, oh my, you really are a total idiot. So what he does, now that I look at it, is that he has Steel Spider underneath the ground from what it looks here, and he just raises the ground as sort of like a tidal wave to go after everyone. And I'm just thinking like, how freaking strong is Kyorichio? He looks... Okay, he's not as muscly as Shinzo. In fact, he's probably one of the skinniest people in this series. Like, he's a string bean, and yet he has that much ability to do this, to do that. Like, seriously, how strong are you, Kyorichio? Like, I want people to scale that, like, in death battle terms. Like, how strong would Kyorichio have to be to lift that up and just use it as a tidal wave to come over them? But yeah, as everyone is reeling off from the ability, he goes, I'm a Terasu. I'm a Terasu. Oh no, it's Taiyo saying, I'm a Terasu. Kota, empty sword, as he uses his sword to try and cut Kyorichio, but Kyorichio being Kyorichio just uses his ability to stop it, kind of similar to how Aizen was just like, yeah, I'm just going to stop your sword with one finger Ichigo in Bleach. So it's kind of the same thing here, and I love how that is kind of like Kyorichio being like, yeah, this might have worked in a different manga, but not in our manga, Taiyo. And he says, the mere hilt of a sword can't stop me, which makes sense. Why would it? The mere hilt of a sword, Taiyo. But yeah, Kyorichio wraps him in the steel spider, and Kyorichio mentions that, oh, the fairy Somia threads that defeated Yozakura family heads, if they cut you, yeah, they'll cut you if you move. But credit where credit is due on Kyorichio's part. He's actually giving praise to Taiyo here, where he says, however, that was not a bad attempt, even for you. Have you matured a little in your own original way? So, yeah, as much praise as you're going to get from Kyorichio in this series, which, granted, compared to how he was praising Taiyo at the beginning of the series, their relationship has come a long way, and this is basically the culmination of it. Like, they care about each other, but Kyorichio is not one who's gonna give it lightly to Taiyo. As Kyorichio says, oh, you're still green, but you seem to have passed the stage of needing me to protect you. And as he's walking away, Taiyo thinks back on how many times that Kyorichio has actually saved him, going back to one of the very earliest chapters where Taiyo was flown out of a window and Kyorichio saved him with his spider seal. And he goes, and Kyorichio and Taiyo is reminded of what Kyorichio actually said, that in this world you may even doubt yourself, but the one thing you can trust, that is family. I may want to kill you, but I'll never let you die, even if it kills me. So basically Kyorichio doing what, Kyorichio here is saying, like, oh, there are times, Taiyo, when I want to kill you, and I want to kill you so badly because because Kyorichio being Kyorichio, he's like, because you're going to take Mutsumi away from me. But since you're family, I will kill for you any day. I will kill for you any day of the week. That's what Kyorichio is doing here. Very typical sibling thing here, where it's like, oh, I may want to kill you, but when the chips are down and if you're in trouble, I'm gonna be there. I'm gonna be there for you. I am gonna be there for you. I'm gonna help you in whatever way possible. And I do like that because kind of the same thing, same relationship with me and my siblings. It's like, yeah, we argue all the time, constantly about even the most pettiest of little things. Like for example, it's like, oh, when are you gonna do the dinner? Like, oh, I did it yesterday. It's your turn to, like, no, you do it. You've been off all day. But when the chips are down and when it's like, hey, is there something? Hey, there's something wrong with my computer. Can you come and help me out here? My brother will actually come and help me out as well. So yeah, we have that kind of the same thing here, just not with spies and everything. Like, yeah, I want to kill you for just the pay things, but when the chips are down, you can always count on me because I am your brother, I am family. And I do like that message that is constant throughout Mission Yozakura family. And he goes on to say, so you can put your life on the line and try your best for the sake of our dear Mutsumi. And this is where Taiyo realises that everyone has just been relying on Kyorichio because he is the strongest and he is the eldest out of all of them. But now it's time for them to actually take the corner and actually protect him and be like, no, you need help here, Kyorichio. It's our turn to help. It's our turn to help you out, man. And he says, "There's no way I can let this end, and I still be the one in need of protecting. I won't let you go, Kyorichio." As he's able to bypass the spider thread, the one that actually killed the Yozakura family heads. Well, I say kill because Tsubumi being a tree might be able to have grown back to life as long as she is alive. And he's able to touch Kyorichio, and Kyorichio is like shocked by this, like. You don't really get that expression from Kyorichio all that much. Like, he didn't expect something like this to be happening. And yep, that's where the chapter ends. So, again, not really much to go off on this chapter. It's just basically the continuing with the fight to bring Kyorichio back. Now, like I said, Vex believes that, oh, this is going to renew the status quo. But I think there's going to be something even more sinister going on in play here because they were warning Taiyo not to touch Kyorichio. And will this actually affect Taiyo's blooming and make it and actually slowly wither away his blooming and make him not as strong as he is right now? Or is it going to actually drain his life force energy because of the fact that he's actually touched Kyorichio in order to pretty much save him? Like, is it going to be like passed on to Taiyo and his Kyorichio being like, you idiot, it's going to pass on to you now and it's going to affect you, and then what are you going to do to be there with Mutsumi? And that might actually be the consequences. Or again, like I said, it could be an infection. Like, the more it slowly starts to infect his body, the more easy it is for Tsubumi to take control of Taiyo and therefore be able to get close to Mutsumi and capture her and bring her to Tsubumi, because Tsubumi wants to get her hands on Mutsumi. But again, what about the grandmother? That is something we need to know, because she is ahead. Like, is something going to happen with the grandmother? And the grandmother is still alive, because Mutsumi was the 10th. Mutsumi's the 10th head. Her mother was the 9th head. Her grandmother is the 8th head. So there has to be something going on with the grandmother. And again, like I said, maybe Kai is on Tsubumi's side, or who knows who else is on Tsubumi's side at this point. If this poison can be manifest into the air, could it affect anyone, and could they actually get access to the blooming without actually having to have the blood injected into them, because it's still technically the blood of the head of the family and it's being injected into the system through alternative means. So that's something we're just gonna have to wait and see on. But yeah, that was the chapter, guys. Really enjoyed reading it and really enjoyed reviewing it, and I'm just going to keep the train rolling for as long as the series goes on, whether it goes on for 6 years, 5 years, goes on for just another year. That I'm just going to enjoy this ride as it goes, but I'm hoping that I can last until chapter 225 so that I can get over that 100 chapter hurdle. But anyway, guys, what did you think of this chapter? Let me know. Like, subscribe, comment, all that jazz. And this will be Lasherluke signing off. Later, guys.